Hello everybody. I just wanted to get into some duo matches I had. This is going to be two separate matches here. They're both pretty solid, lots of good loot and lots of good fights. It has more of a focus on true melee rogue. I have completely abandoned the crossbow, so this is going to be me and my partner both running rogue with dual daggers and dual swords. And all the fights are going to be obviously more melee focused here. So in this first match we had a nice little spawn fight in the beginning. Now I'm just kind of collecting stacks and looking around, and then we hear some people above us. I didn't like how there was still one above me and my invisibility was about to run out, so I just said fuck it and threw an incendiary flask. It seems like they're both plate, so either double fighter or DK or a mix of them, which can be a pretty hard fight, so trying to be a bit more cautious here, just trying to poke at them to the floor. Don't really know exactly what I was trying to accomplish, maybe just annoy them to death. And you see, they're just posted up. There's no way to circle around them, no way to get any backstabs in. Just not a very good spot to engage them at all. Just trying to play a little bit more safe. But here I see that he's gonna probably jump down, so I start moving so I don't get pinched or anything. And these are two very good players, so this fight does take quite some time, way longer than I would want. But it was a pretty intense fight down here in the maze. This right here, this is a spot that you can launch yourself out of the maze. There's a few spots that you can use to launch with the dagger dash. Like on sloped edges, the dagger dash can give you like a ton of like upward momentum. So I just use that to escape. And here they kind of back themselves into a corner, so I'm trying to get as much fire on them as possible. See a good opportunity to jump down on this guy. I try to swap to my second dagger. I will talk about that probably in my next video. Kind of a sneak peek on what I've been working on with that. Here I use the quick blades because normally I don't mind blocking the spin with the daggers because it'll push you back, but if you have the dual swords out, you're just gonna eat the whole thing. I'm almost certain he has his spin again by now, so I am being very cautious, trying to bait out the spin. And then here's the spin. Once the spin's over, I feel a whole lot more comfortable. And here I go for the sword combo, but see that he pulls out the sword and shield, so I just switch into the charge attack. That was about it for the first match, but the second match has a lot more action in it here. We usually start off each game by just grabbing all the redstones. If you can get all of them, it's a huge advantage if no one else can revive. So just kind of go around collecting them while we look for players. This guy looked alone, and there's a lot of stuff going on in the feed. There's 5 things in the feed, so we assume this guy's missing his teammate. And he was probably out here looking for a redstone, but I believe we had all of them, if not close to all of them at this point. Just skip ahead a little bit. I do throw the stone flask to block the druid from leaving. He ends up dying, but since this Death Knight got stuck on the wall, I just went for the sword combo while he was stuck. And then there, I didn't mind getting hit by that riposte very much because I still had the 50% damage reduction from exiting stealth. In this clip, we kind of got pulled up on real quick by these 2 sword masters. That was a complete accident to lead with my Q, but it did work out. And then, yeah, backstab with the daggers, and then he has the shield out, so switch to the dual swords for the charge attack. Here, I know he's very hurt, so I tell my teammate, you know, if you can, that guy is extremely hurt, and he actually gets in there and gets the finish. I do skip ahead here because we were kind of waiting outside the ring or outside the storm, and after a while we decided to push in. And I kind of feel like this guy wants to extract, so I block his exit, and then we try our best to kill him as fast as possible here. But he gets out. More redstones, of course. Gotta have them. I'm just waiting for my teammate to match up with me on that invis. And I hear Storm Rage going on in here. So we do want to focus the guy that does not have Storm Rage first, and then try to get the 2v1 on the Storm Rage user. Really bad position here, and I ate a terrible charge attack, but most of the time when you quick blade, people are going to think you're running, so I go back in for the finish on that guy. And then this guy jumps down that hole here, so we got to rotate all the way around. I don't really want to jump down in a hole with a Swordmaster, especially one with Storm Rage. And then here I just jump in a hole with him anyway. I get locked in here with him. That's really good on his part to pull that lever. Luckily he just doesn't apply any pressure while he has that Q up. And then, yeah, unfortunately for him, he gets backed into the corner. Slight loot showcase here again. Another Storm Rage Swordmaster right after the last one, and a 17th key fighter. I have to bail out of that quick, but I know I need to get some pressure on. And then his Q knocks me out of my invisibility before I can apply poison. And yeah, this fight is not going well at all. Then I see that my teammate dies right here, but the fighter that just killed him only has 20% health left. I can see that up in the feed, so I know that I need to push. And then here, I see his pity trigger, and I need to rotate around that swordmaster, so I used the quick blades to push the fighter, but he ended up dying by poison anyway. But that quick blades would have been very good at getting past the swordmaster in order to finish the fighter. And now I'm kind of just waiting for my teammate to rotate to their side so we can pinch him. And that's that. Two very solid duo matches, a lot of very good fights, tons of pink and purple geared players. And yeah, just trying to showcase melee rogue, no crossbow. Dual swords are very strong with the daggers. And then here's just the loot from that mace fight. I just forgot to include it. Nothing too crazy, but I did want to show it. Congratulations everybody, we made it to the end. I just wanted to really quickly get into what I was running. So for those two matches, this is the kit that I had on. It is a Force of Trinity, Dragon Scale, Pity of Death, and Tiny Torment kit. And since we are running dual swords instead of the crossbow, these each give you around 20% crit chance. So instead of running crit chance on both of my heirlooms, I am running max damage stacks on one of them. That way, I'm still going to be at around 80% crit chance after my stacks, and I'll have 4 stacks of damage. If you are not running set bonuses or you have an extra slot, I would highly recommend running the heirloom sword for the extra 2 damage stacks, because the sword damage isn't going to be as important because we're still mainly using the daggers. So I would run the heirloom sword, that way we could have 6 damage stacks and still be around 70-80% crit chance. And if you want, you can definitely still have a crossbow in your inventory. It won't be preloaded of course, but it can still come in handy in certain situations. Then you can always drop it if you need room. And then just a slight showcase of some of the loot that I had received from those 2 games, selling very well. But yeah, just wanted to make this video showing a true melee rogue and how strong they can be. And then in the next video I want to cover carrying a 3rd dagger. But that is about it for now. Bye.